Nobody in your family was the problem. Nobody was the villain. Nobody woke up every morning trying to make you carry the emotional weight of the family. Somebody had to hold everything together, and somehow, that somebody became you. Before you learned algebra, before you understood money, you learned something far more important. You learned how to read a room. You noticed who was angry, who was anxious, who needed comforting, and eventually, you stopped noticing yourself. They called you so mature, so responsible, so easy. And without anyone realizing it, the family fixer was born. Years later, psychology would give this role a name: parentification. A situation where a child quietly takes on responsibilities that were never supposed to belong to them. Not because somebody officially assigned the role, but because the family system needed someone to carry the weight. And the child who notices the most usually gets chosen first. Not consciously, not maliciously, almost automatically, because every family under pressure looks for stability. The emotional shock absorber, the peacekeeper, the pressure valve, the fixer. And here's the part many people never realize. The child who learns how to calm everyone else often becomes the adult who doesn't know how to calm themselves, because they spent years learning how to manage other people's emotions. But almost nobody taught them what to do with their own. Researchers who study family systems notice something fascinating. Family fixers rarely leave the role behind. They simply carry it into adulthood. The house changes. The role doesn't. They become attracted to people who need help, people who need understanding, people who need fixing. Because helping feels familiar, because carrying feels familiar, because responsibility feels familiar. The burden feels like home. They escape the family. But somehow, they rebuilt the same role everywhere they went. Different people, same job, different environment, same burden. The same thing happens at work. Without realizing it, you become the emotional shock absorber. You stay late. You solve problems nobody asked you to solve. You take responsibility for mistakes you didn't make. You become the reliable one, the dependable one, the indispensable one. And everyone praises you for it. But here's the strange thing. Family fixers often spend years being rewarded for the very behavior that is exhausting them. People call it dedication. People call it loyalty. People call it leadership. But sometimes, it's just the same childhood role wearing a suit. And this is where people start blaming themselves. Why can't I relax? Why do I always feel responsible? Why can't I stop worrying? But what if the problem isn't weakness? What if the problem is training? Imagine spending years learning that your job was to notice problems before anyone else, to prevent problems before anyone else noticed them, to protect everyone from discomfort. Would your brain suddenly switch that off because you became an adult? Of course not. That's why family fixers often walk into a room and immediately feel the mood. Before anyone speaks, before anything happens. If you're recognizing yourself in this, I want you to hear something. What happened to you was not a personality trait. It was an assignment. You've started setting boundaries. You've started saying no. You've stopped carrying every burden. And instead of feeling free, you felt guilty. Family fixers often spend years mourning something they never actually had, because nobody sees what is missing, only what survived. The role can be put down, not ignored, not erased, put down. The hardest part about being the family fixer is that eventually you stop knowing who you are without the role. Because for years, your value came from what you carried. Healing isn't learning how to carry more. It's learning that you were never supposed to carry everything. That responsibility was shared, not yours alone. Boundaries aren't rejection, they're honesty. Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you human. The child who became the family fixer deserved to simply be a child. Curious, playful, free. And maybe today, you finally stop carrying what was never yours. Because your life was never meant to be about saving everyone else. It was meant to include you too. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone. And this is only the beginning. Because understanding the pattern is the first step towards changing it.